everybody, it's Anita Foster with the Arlington ISD, and I'm here with two of my favorite people because we're in the kitchen and they cook things. This is Kenya and this is Jasmine, and they're in the Culinary training program at the Dan Diaper Career and Technical Center. And today, I'm so excited. What are we making, Kenya?
Well, I'm going to be teaching y'all how to do the gingerbread man. It's not really hard. There's not that many steps, but I'll be here if you need help, I swear.
And then Jasmine, you're
decorating, showing him how to decorate the cookies.
the decoration. That's the fun part, right? Okay, well, let's get to it. So Kenya, you're going to walk us through our ingredients, and then Jasmine will catch up with you in just a little bit when we get to decorating. Okay, so start with what comes first, the chicken, the egg, the butter?
Well, the first thing that comes first is you have to cream your butter and all your sugars together.
Okay.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to
And you
add
got your
our
stand
butter.
mixer, right?
Yes.
A staple in any kitchen.
I mean, if you don't have it, that's fine.
You can use an electric mixer,
but
right?
it's better to have a stand-up one because it's easier and it doesn't take that much time.
And then brown sugar.
Yes.
Makes life better all the way around.
All the way around.
And then your regular sugar, right?
Mm-hmm. So our stand-up mixer is going to be put on high.
Okay.
Because it's just going to be easier for us.
And the same if you were using a hand mixer, right? You just put that on high.
Yes.
On your beaters.
Because when you're doing the butter, especially if your butter is hard, it's gonna it's gonna be harder for you to get all your butters and all your sugars made together.
And you want to soften that butter first,
Yes.
then, right?
So then, because when they bake out, they're gonna be very misshapen.
Okay.
You don't
we
want
don't want
that.
that. Gingerbread men
No.
have to be perfect.
No, you don't.
And so, how long would you mix this together?
About 30 seconds to a minute.
Oh, so not very long at all.
Not very long.
Okay, so we're creaming the butter, the brown sugar, and
our white sugar.
the white sugar together. And then this has some other ingredients, right? You've got some molasses and other things to really sweeten and sticky
Yes.
this one, right?
Yeah.
What's the key to a really great gingerbread cookie?
So, I don't want to be like weird and say a lot of love, but like very precise measurements, because if you go too offbeat with it, then it could end up too salty, or it could end up too sweet, or too mushy and too messed up. And
You know, I was probably in my 30s before I fully understood that baking is science. And you just hit the nail on the head. The measurements have to be precise, right? Just in regular cooking, you can throw a cup in or a little bit over or under, but not necessarily
not
with
too much.
baking.
Not too much,
Yes,
especially with something like baking soda. Too much will really mess up a recipe.
Okay.
And you'll be tasting just a mouthful of salt.
Okay. Well, we don't want that.
No. So the
All
second
right.
thing that I'm doing is I'm scraping down the bowl, making sure that all the butter that's at the bottom is getting really into the recipe, because butter loves to stick to the bottom.
Yes,
For
it
I
does.
don't know why. But after we do that, once we're done with that, then we add all of our dry ingredients
Okay.
and our wet ingredients.
All right.
So this is where I turn the stand mixer down, because if it's too high, then our flour will just fly everywhere.
Well, no one wants to clean that up.
I don't.
We have enough dishes at the holiday season, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll add, how much flour are we going to add to our mix? Several.
It depends on the recipe, because certain recipes are different.
Okay.
Some ask for more, some ask for less.
Okay.
Especially when you want to make, like a gingerbread house.
Yes.
It just all depends on your
Okay.
recipe and what you
Okay.
have.
Very good. So we add our flour in, like you said, and lesson learned from me the hard way. Put it on low. Or you too will be coated in flour.
Yes.
And then what else are we adding?
Once we're done with all our dry ingredients, then we're gonna go on to our wet ingredients.
Okay. And I see we got cinnamon and
Yes.
more sugar.
You see, like right now,
Yes.
if I'd made a mistake and left it on high, I would have been coated in flour right now.
Well, while that would be amusing, it would not help us make our cookies. So this will mix for how long here?
I'd give it about a minute to a minute and
Okay.
30 seconds, just to make sure that everything is incorporated together and
Okay.
that I don't have to go back in and try and fix something I messed up on. Just
Absolutely.
so it's really good.
What is your ultimate dream in your life?
My ultimate dream is to travel the world and learn about different cuisines, different spices, and to try and bring it back to my home and try and let people learn about it. Like Chinese food, I love Chinese food, I love Mexican food, I love Tex-Mex, but I'd like to see more Indian food, more like Hawaiian food, just really come down here and just for people to just understand like African food. I just want people to understand all of it and to feel warmth from it. Because food does bring warmth and it does
Food is
bring
love.
love.
It
does.
is. Like spices are just love. So where did you develop this passion? You're so knowledgeable.
From my mom. Because my mom, she's always made things for us. She has a lot of kids and we all have different taste buds. So she had to get accommodated to things like I personally, I'm not a big fan of bitter stuff. So anything bitter, I wasn't too big on it. But my mom would always just tweak the recipe and I would enjoy it.
Gave you an adventurous palate.
Yes.
Okay, so it looks like our mix is done. So what's our next step here?
So the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn it back on, and while it's mixing slowly, I'm gonna add the molasses.
Okay.
Very slowly.
Okay, and this is what
And
gives
the
that
egg.
gingerbread the perfect color
Yes.
and taste.
Mhm.
Okay, so molasses is gonna move slow anyway, right?
Yes. And once this is done, I'm also gonna scrape the bowl again just to make
Okay.
sure that everything is in there and that it's all good.
Okay. And how long will this mix for with the molasses going in?
A minute.
Okay, like you said, very slowly.
Yes, very
with
slowly.
this ingredient. You definitely don't want to wear that one in your hair, right?
No. And then
Okay.
I'm also gonna slowly add my egg
Okay.
so that it's just all incorporated.
Are
in there.
eggs already? Are they separated or are they full yolk?
It's full yolk.
One egg.
Everything just goes in
Okay,
there.
just one. Not much. Okay. And then we just let that come into a perfect texture.
Yes.
All right.
And then after that, we're gonna wrap it up, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. It has to
Okay.
rest.
Before we roll it out
Yeah.
and start making the cookies.
Mhm.
And we're back to our arts and crafts section of cookie decorating, and Jasmine's here. She's a pro. So what's the first thing we need to know to take that delicious gingerbread cookie and make it look fabulous?
So first, we're gonna flour our surface.
Okay. So whether you have a cutting board or just your counter,
Just the flour,
pla-
the counter.
countertop works, right?
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of people are afraid, I think, to make their counters dirty. I use mine.
And we're gonna
That's
roll
been
out.
chilled for what, 30 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what Kenya said, put it in the fridge. Oh, it looks like gingerbread. So we're gonna
So
roll it
now-
out now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Add a little bit of flour on top
Okay.
into your rolling pin.
So it won't stick to the pin, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna roll it out 1 to 1/4 inch thick.
Okay. And we want it pretty solid like that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good and chilled. All right.
So now we're gonna cut it out.
And any cute Christmas shape will do, right? But you
Yes.
can't beat the shape of a gingerbread man. Perfect. And just using some parchment paper.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're gonna do a candy cane.
All right. And then we're gonna bake these, right?
Yes, ma'am.
About how long did we bake them for?
For 10 minutes at 375.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't take very long to
No, ma'am.
to
Preheat
cook.
it. Make sure you preheat it to 375.
Okay, 375. About 10 minutes. Okay, guys, we're back and we're gonna learn how to take these delicious gingerbread cookies and turn them into works of art. So Jasmine, Kenya, where do we start?
Okay, so first we're gonna grab our cookies.
And I like to always say art is subjective, so my definition of art might not look like yours.
And we have our raw icing here
Okay.
in our piping bags.
Okay,
Make sure you cut a.
and you guys made the icing, right?
Yes.
And you were saying royal icing, it sounds really fancy, but it's just 2 ingredients. Kenya, what's in the royal icing?
Powdered sugar and water, but if you want to get fancy, you can add milk.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't. You can just add water.
Just add water.
Yes.
Okay, and so, Jasmine, what do we do first?
So I'm gonna do the shoe here.
Okay, the stocking.
Yes. So I'm just gonna do some squiggly lines.
Nice and thin, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have to practice a long time to be able to use this piping bag? Or is it pretty easy for a beginner?
It's pretty easy.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna dip it.
Oh. So you don't sprinkle it, you dip it.
Well, you can do either or.
Oh, that's going to be cute. It's almost like a little ice skate.
I'm
They're winter colors. Very nice.
but I'm gonna sprinkle this one on here.
Just sprinkle that one. Okay, very, very festive.
That's your
Adorable
stocking.
Christmas stocking. Okay, Kenya, what you got?
Well, I'm just gonna do a regular gingerbread man. So just do some squiggly lines.
Okay.
Something easy, nothing too fancy.
Do I see the gingerbread face coming to life? Now, Jasmine, do you love the cookie decorating?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
It is fun, isn't it? Well, these are just adorable. We do have the recipe available down in the description. So some royal icing, whatever toppings you want. And then our gingerbread cookies are ready to go. Serve up for our holiday guests. Mercedes and Anthony have found their way to the culinary kitchen. Somehow they always seem to know when we're cooking something up. And they're our special taste testers. How do you feel about gingerbread cookies?
I am on board with gingerbread cookies.
Well, let's take a bite and see what you think.
I'm ready.
Anthony, which one are you
I'll
gonna
go for
do?
the biggest cookie. I go for
And Mercedes,
I'm gonna go for the candy.
the candy cane. All right, cheers. Holiday cheer all the way around. And how are the gingerbread cookies, team?
Really, really, really good.
Really, really, that's three reallys, y'all.
Really,
That's
really.
better than ho, ho, ho. I'm just
You
saying.
won't last long.
Very, very good. Well, you can make this recipe too. Just go out down into the description box. We'll leave you the recipe. You've seen how Kenya and Jasmine use their creativity to decorate their stockings and how Anthony and Mercedes are devouring those creations. All thumbs up from the culinary kitchen here in the Arlington ISD. Don't be afraid to cook, right, girls? Test your luck in your kitchen. And while you're at it, have a very happy holiday. We'll see you soon.